Hi everyone, I'm Fan, and today I want to talk about Mega Man Maker. For those who don't know, Mega Man Maker allows for users all over the world to use their imaginations to create levels beyond their wildest desires. Whether it's fun, ambitious, stupid, or outright bullshit, the world is your oyster. With 1.9 around the corner, those said users can create even more with new additions like Plug Ball, Arc Weldies, Walking Count Bombs, and more. Today, I want to make a wish list for Mega Man Maker in general, because it wouldn't be wise to make a 1.9 wish list. Without further ado, let's get to it. The first enemy I want to add is Sprinklan from Mega Man 10. Sprinklan is a type of Gabrielle that will rush the player if it is going in the player's direction. It will go slow otherwise. If a Sprinklan gets shot, it will shoot wildly in all directions. Sprinklan would be a cool addition because the only unique Gabrielles we have are the Cybele Gabrielle from Mega Man 6 and the Electric Gabrielle from Mega Man 3. Having another type of Gabrielle will give some interesting ideas for different challenges and levels, and also spread out that variety with every single type of Gabrielle in the game. Next I want Rounder from Mega Man 5. Rounder would be a great addition because we don't have an enemy that blocks your shots, causing other enemies to have an advantage yet. This combined with tanky enemies like a Big Eye would be a great challenge. Rounders would have a maximum of 4 circling Mega Man at a time, and I would put an option to set a time on how long they would circle Mega Man. The timer would be between 1 and 10 seconds, and an option to have them infinitely circle him. Up next is Popo Heli from Mega Man 9. Popo Helis are perfect to add to Mega Man Maker because we have no unique shield attackers, unless you want to count that one shield attacker that turns by itself, but my point still stands. The thing that makes Popo Helis unique is that they have a flamethrower. Popo Helis would be placed on top of the screen, and like footholders, a red line would direct the Popo Heli to where it would go and shoot its fire. Next is D-Spider and Dar-Spider from Mega Man's 9 and 10. D-Spider always sticks to the ceiling unless Mega Man is below or close to D-Spider. When lowered, it starts jumping like crazy, alternating between low jumps and high jumps. Dar-Spiders are the same enemy, but with faster movement and jumps. Dar-Spider is also smaller than the D-Spider. Like a lot of other enemies, both spiders will have a gravity effect and will randomly hop everywhere. They'll act normal when on the ceiling. We need more ceiling crawlers, and I think these two enemies would be a great addition. Next is Skizza Scissor. This enemy joins into a pair of scissors between Mega Man, and if joined, the whole pair will rush to the left and then back right into a straight line in a very fast rate. Otherwise, the single blades will just keep going diagonally down and diagonally up. In the menu, the whole enemy can just be placed and the behavior will act like it should. Mega Man 9 should have a lot more enemies because the enemy selection feels empty compared to Mega Man 4 and especially Mega Man 2. I think this and the previously mentioned D-Spider can fix that a bit. These next enemies are some different types of mechs that haven't been put into Mega Man Maker. Dancing Mets from Mega Man 4, Camouflatalis from Mega Man 9, and the Cactus Spy from Mega Man Powered Up. When it comes to any ordinary Met, the Dancing Mets are on the tanky side, and they will spin and shoot 3 shots at Mega Man. Dancing Mets could be a good pick if a user wants to have a tanky Met in their level. Camouflatalis are Mets camouflaged as a 1-up, otherwise it acts like your ordinary other Met. We have Anti-Eddy, so it'd be nice to have Camouflatal too. Also, there could be a setting for Camouflatal to be camouflaged as other items like a big health pickup or a big energy pickup. Cactus Spies only appear once in Mega Man Powered Up, mainly in Oil Man's level. Geez, such a shame, no wonder this game sucks. Anywho, Cactus Spy is attacked by shooting 5 thorns in different directions. Even add attention to detail, fire weapons like Firestorm, Atomic Fire, and Wave Burner can burn off the Cactus Spy's helmets like in Mega Man Powered Up. Plus, we need more plant-based enemies, and Cactus Spy would be a great addition because of that. These 3 Mets would be a great addition to Mega Man Maker because not only will some be great with certain theming, but they could be used for creative ideas. So, apparently as of this recording, we got the 7th anniversary announcement, and apparently one of my wishes from the wish list, the Camouflatalis, is actually in the game now, so yeah, let's go! Next is Shimobi. Shimobis are little shit that spawn from the ceiling that will run at you and try to kick you. When hit, they get knocked back and will explode. When knocked into an explosive, both the Shimobi and the explosive will explode, which can cause a chain reaction. Also, Shimobis will be able to destroy these blocks. Shimobis would also cause explosive crates to start a chain reaction. As annoying as Shimobis can be, they can provide some cool ideas, especially with the attention to detail brought with the explosives and breakables. Up next we have our first and only mid-boss, Totemer. This mid-boss has 4 parts that will all try to crush you and restack itself, rinse and repeat. The vulnerable spot is the part with the eyes, but it's completely immune when it's spinning. Mega Man 11 doesn't really have a mid-boss yet, so Totemer would be a great first pick, and it would also be the easiest to implement as well. Like in Mega Man 11, Totemer would not be affected by gimmicks, and since Totemer has set places to make his pieces fall into, uneven terrain is never an issue! Next is Technodon from Mega Man 7. This enemy has a similar function to the Baton from Mega Man 4. He's a form of transportation to help Mega Man get through spikes. However, Technodons will jump over pits and run over spikes, instead of jumping over spikes and pits. When Mega Man gets off the Technodon, he will still keep going, so be sure to be on that Technodon at all times. Technodon would be a great addition because it acts like the Baton, as previously said, so it wouldn't be hard to implement. Also, we don't have a lot of prehistoric enemies in the game. Lastly, we have Fire Server from Mega Man 11. This robot releases a fireball from its cannon that can detonate explosives and could even light oil on fire and even activate hot plates. The tank he has is an explosive, and when the Fire Server is killed, the tank flies into the air and explodes on contact. Like the Shimobi, this tank could even activate explosives, and like the fireball, it could also activate oil and hot plates. The tank could even explode those blocks previously mentioned. Like Mega Man 9, Mega Man 11 also has few 2 enemies, so this enemy can fix that issue. Let's start this category off with Showman from Mega Man 10. Showman would be a fantastic addition because none of the Ice Team Robot Masters really interact with anything aside from fire gimmicks, mainly the Firewall gimmick from the Mega Man 11 section. Showman spikes could easily fix this problem by interacting with enemies by freezing them, or killing them if they run over spikes, or they can even interact with gimmicks itself, like the Firewall previously mentioned. The only problem I see Showman having is terrain, because his pattern relies on a flat floor, as well as like any other Robot Master from Mega Man 10. Showman runs and jumps towards Mega Man and shoots 2 chill spikes, 3 if it's hard mode, and his hard mode exclusive allows him to shoot chill spikes all over the arena. However, I don't think this should be implemented in Mega Man Maker. Also, Showman would be the first Robot Master to have ice physics. Next is Swordman. Swordman has 2 body parts. His top half, which he uses to do a spin slash and have it return like a boomerang, and his bottom half, which he uses to separate his upper half and jump to the other side and use his flame sword when whole again. He'll also drop a stone head at Mega Man, even though he says, "Let's make this fair fight." That's not really fair. Come on, Swordman, you can do better than that. He also has a complex moveset as previously mentioned. Even though this is the case, Swordman would be a great addition for numerous reasons. First of all, his complex moveset could assist in creating interesting boss arenas. Second, we have only 3, that's right! 3 fucking fire-themed Robot Masters! We need more than that. Come on, Mega Maker. We can do better than that. Next is Dr. Wily's crush, Gutsman. Gutsman's a really simple boss, as he will jump, which causes earthquakes. Sometimes he'll jump in place, which causes a super arm block to fall into his hand. He will then throw that block directly at Mega Man, and when it makes contact with terrain, it will shatter into 3 projectiles. Gutsman's earthquakes would also cause blocks that have gravity to respawn, like Concrete Man and Stone Man. Gutsman's simple patterns would also provide unique challenges for Mega Man to overcome, whether combined with gimmicks or not. Next is Wily Machine 1. We only have 2 Wily Machines as of the making of this video, so our third one would be awesome! Wily Machine's first phase will always have him move back and forth, shooting energy shots that go in an arc. His second phase consists of him shooting energy balls that go in circles while homing in on Mega Man. Like both Wily Machines, Wily Machine 1 would have a toggle to start the fight with either Phase 1 or Phase 2. Out of the Wily Machines in this game, Wily Machine 1 would be the most unique to add to the game, one of the best machines to add next. Next is Spike Pushers. Spike Pushers consist of 14 spiked enemies divided up into 4 lanes, who will shoot spiked balls towards Mega Man. It is your job to shoot those balls back towards those enemies to destroy them. If the balls get to the left side, the enemies will shoot homing shots until they are killed. Like Boo Beam Trap, these enemies would act like regular enemies unless a controller is placed which turns it into a boss. The spiked ball would also be in the boss category, but it would act like a gimmick, like the same thing as Big Pets from Mega Man 5. It could be pushed with the Mega Buster, and with a charge shot it could be pushed even further. The enemy could either be killed with a ball or with your ordinary lemons and weapons. The weakness would push the balls the furthest out of any other weapon, and the immunity doesn't push the ball at all. Spike Pushers would be a complex boss, but would be a great wily boss to represent Mega Man 9. Plus, this would provide an additional enemy and gimmick to Mega Man 9, which is a plus in my book. This next suggestion is more of a content suggestion more than anything. It would be awesome if we had a Genesis unit update. It feels really weird that nothing from Wily Wars but the music got added, so it feels necessary for more content to be added. Buster Raji, based on Sun Wukong, would be a great representative for this boss because of his simple moveset. His power pole dings off your shots, and it can also extend to hit Mega Man whether he stands on the ground or jumps. He can also create after images to attack Mega Man, with the last one being the real Buster Raji. We need more nature-themed Robot Masters, and Buster Raji would fit the bill. Also, as if you're gonna ask for a second phase, no, I do not think Buster Raji's second phase should be in Mega Man Maker, because that would actually be very complex to add, and his first phase is perfectly fine. You would also have the option to have him at 1 health and like jump out of the arena or just straight up kill him. For the Wily boss, the best and easiest boss to add would be Iron Ball from Wily 2. Iron Ball has 2 phases. The first phase consists of it bouncing on the ground and will sometimes stop in place to rip off Gemini Man and shoot Gemini lasers. Its second phase has it bouncing around the walls and will this time rip off Bombor Pepe and shoot explosive eggs. What were they thinking? Ripping off separate things? Come on, Capcom. Come on, Minakuchi Engineering. You can do better than this. Like any Wily bosses that have phases, Iron Ball would have the option to start the fight on phase 1 or phase 2. Last is Hornet Man. Hornet Man's a robot master made by Dr. Light to pollinate flowers. He always starts the fight by flying and shooting 3 Hornet Chasers that go after Mega Man in distance intervals. He then falls back down, goes to the opposite of the arena, and repeat the process. He will also sometimes make a lap back to where he was before and then start the process again. Hornet Man would be another great nature robot master to add, especially since we have his weapon, the Hornet Chaser, already in the game. Hornet Man would also assist in unique arenas due to him being able to jump over tiles. First is Guts Lift. Guts Lifts are like crash rails, but the difference is that specific parts of the railing have the lift fold down, causing Mega Man to fall. The lift would have 2 colors like in Mega Man 1, red and green, and the rail would have the ability to go upwards as well. The Guts Lift will also be affected by time-affecting weapons such as Time Stopper. The lift would also have toggled speeds just like the Uranus platforms. Guts Lifts would be a great gimmick to add because it could provide interesting setups with numerous enemies and gimmicks, as well as making theming for levels like Wily Fortresses even better. Next is auto-scrolling from Mega Man 4. Auto-scrolling would have 4 different speed intervals like other gimmicks, and it could even have the option to go vertically or diagonally. It would also have a modifier that controls the auto-scroller just like the Firewall modifier. Auto-scrolling could enhance platforming and enemy combat to its maximum, which is a great reason why to add this gimmick. Up next are the Snake Blocks for Mega Man 5. These blocks follow a set pattern that has the blocks go up, down, left, or right when on screen. It's like in Mario, so they won't carry Mega Man, and they also won't carry enemies, so they both have to move with the blocks at all times. Like auto-scrolling, Snake Blocks can enhance platforming in a very unique way. Hell, if these 2 gimmicks get added, they could provide a very unique challenge. Snake Blocks would have 4 toggles for speed, and there would be another object with Snake Blocks which would determine the Snake Blocks pattern. It would have 4 toggles, left, right, down, and up. Here's an example of what it looked like. Next is the Copter platform from Mega Man 9. They appear only in Wily 1 and can only be activated by Tornado Blow. Once activated, it will go all the way up to the top railing, and then after a couple seconds descend to where it was before. Of course, this gimmick would be activated by other weapons such as Tornado Hold and Air Shooter as a tiny little boost. The Copter platform would act like crash rails in the editor. The rails would be the thing you place, and each rail would have a toggle to have a Copter platform. However, there would be a limit of 1 for each connected rail. Copter platforms would be a great addition for not only platforming, but it could also assist in weapon interactivity as well as enemy combat in some ways. Next are the Sheep Conveyors and Sheep Platforms. Sheep Platforms will always start folded down, but if you run on the Sheep Conveyors for long enough, the Sheep Platforms will get enough energy to fold back up, and they become platforms for Mega Man to stand on. However, once you get off the conveyor, the energy starts to drain fast. Once it has no energy, it folds back down. In the editor, the sheep platforms would have two toggles. First, to start the platform folding down or up, and second, the numbers 1 to 5. The sheep conveyors would also have this toggle as well. If both objects have the same number, they interact with each other. Otherwise, the conveyor does nothing to the platform, and said platform stays in its starting position. These two objects would be amazing for puzzle levels because of this function. For example, trying to get a specific sheep platform to fold down, for a heavy block to activate a switch and move on. Next are blast lasers, trucks, and crates from Mega Man 11. These gimmicks are related in the sense that you trigger a blast laser, then a fuse below the trigger goes to the blast crate or truck and activates them. The crate will just explode, and the truck will be activated if the blast crate is below said truck. It's a bit complicated, but it will be a great addition given the fact that we get 3 gimmicks for Mega Man 11. Let's start with the blast laser. The laser will consist of a block that has the laser go forward, and the fuse will be below the block, the fuse that activates the 2 gimmicks. The block would have a toggle from the numbers 1 to 5, depicting how low the fuse would go. The crate would also have that toggle as well. Blast crates would only be able to explode via fire weapons, the fuse, or the previously suggested shimobi, and the truck would also be activated by that fuse or blast crate. However, if activated by the fuse, it would explode upwards faster. Next is Wind from Mega Man's 8 and 11. Wind has a very simple function. It just pushes Mega Man in one direction. Wind would have 2 styles like the Rain gimmick, and would also have a toggle for speed. This gimmick would also be affected by the Bell Ringer by changing its speed. Wind would be a great gimmick for adding quality to levels as well as making levels interesting by themselves. Last we have Angle platforms from Mega Man GB4. This gimmick appears in Stone Man's level and acts the exact same as the flip platform from Windman's level, except the angle platforms activate faster, which is why I'm asking myself, why haven't they added this yet?
But Fan, what's the point of adding this stupid gimmick?
Well, Bobby, it would be a great alternative if they want the faster flip platform. They did it with Yoku blocks, so why not do it with the flip platform? The first weapon I want to add is Astro Crush from Mega Man 8. Astro Crush summons a meteor storm that is a screen nuke, dealing damage to every enemy on screen. It has 4 uses or 6 with the energy saver. We never really see any playable have an animation when it comes to screen nukes like Astro Crush and especially Lightning Bolt for base. This is why I think Astro Crush would be a perfect weapon to add in 1.9, or beyond even. Next up is Water Balloon. I know, it's a shit name. Water Balloon is your average lobbing weapon, but it has a longer curve before splashing down on the enemy. It has 46 uses, or 64 if you have the energy saver, making it a spammable weapon. We don't really have a lot of spammables, so I think Water Balloon would be a great addition. Also, like any other water weapon, Water Balloon would be able to nullify acid or douse fire. Up next is Thunderbolt from Mega Man 7. Thunderbolt has 28 uses and it shoots an electric shock that splits vertically when hitting an enemy. It would also activate machinery, even though in Mega Man 7 it only activates junk elevators, but that's beside the case. Thunderbolt would also light up dark areas. Thunderbolt would be great for puzzles and attention to detail. Next is Acid Barrier from Mega Man 11. Acid Barrier not only acts as your normal shield, but it's the first shield weapon that allows you to shoot while the shield is active. That's really cool, guys, am I right? These acid shots go in an arc, and if the shield hits for contact damage, it will go away, sadly. Unless you're using the Power Gear version. Mega Man 11's weapon arsenal has the same problem as Mega Man 7's, and Acid Barrier would be the perfect choice to implement next. Acid Barrier would have the ability to buff acid by 1 level per shot, and even have you immune to acid when at full power. Next is Blazing Torch. Blazing Torch would be another great weapon to implement due to its power. With 12 uses, this weapon is fucking overpowered! It will arc upwards first, then shoot a line of flames downward, dealing phenomenal damage. Blazing Torch would act like any ordinary fire weapon, and will even pierce through any gimmick it interacts with. This is another great weapon to implement, so great that players and users will have so much fun with this weapon. Next is Rebound Striker from Mega Man 10. Rebound Striker is a ball that can either be aimed straight, diagonally up, or diagonally down, and has 14 uses. From there, it bounces across the walls and floor, with each bounce dealing more damage and becoming faster. Rebound Striker can only bounce up to 5 times before disappearing. Like I said with the Ingo platforms, Rebound Striker is a complicated version of Gemini Laser, and
but Fan, there would be, absolutely no
shut the f*** up, Bobby! Interrupt me again, I will top spell your ass to Kingdom Come! What was I saying again? Oh, yeah. Rebound Striker would be a great weapon to add, especially when it comes to how it interacts with its terrain. Let's move on before Bobby screws us over again. Technically, the Mega Man 5 and 6 weapon set is not completed yet, because it doesn't have Beat. Before Beat lifted Mega Man out of pits and was completely useless, he homed in on enemies and was completely useful. The only difference is that Mega Man 6's Beat instantly kills enemies if their amount of health is less or equal to the amount of energy Beat has left, and Mega Man 5's Beat deals 2 to 3 damage with the cost of 2 energy. Mega Man 5's Beat has 12 uses, while Mega Man 6's depends on what enemies you kill. We only see Beat as Roll's utility, which sucks because he never got added like an actual weapon, so having Mega Man 5 and 6's Beat would be incredible. Starting off, we have short boss iframes. Personally, there are some bosses that are tedious, especially when you don't have any charge shot, so having short boss iframes like Mega Man 9 would be a godsend. It could also make the better boss fights that users made even more fun. In the editor, when you're in the boss options, there would be an option to enable either long boss iframes like Mega Man 4's, or short boss iframes like Mega Man 9's. Up next is W tanks. Look, we have E tanks and M tanks, but why not W tanks? What's the deal? W tanks can vary between games, so they can either refill one weapon or every weapon. In this case, it would be one weapon. Also, it could have an option to be red like the Mega Man 11 variant, as well as the M tank to become yellow. Next is Eddie. Eddie is a robot that assists Mega Man by giving him random power-ups, whether it's a small energy drop or an E-tank. In the editor, Eddie would just have to be placed and he'll behave like usual. Alright, this last suggestion is a big one, but it would be incredible to add. A game mode that acts like a Mega Man game. 8 Robot Master-like stages, 4 Fortress stages. Like Wily challenges, E-tanks, M-tanks, and 1-ups would carry throughout the stages and you'll start with 3 lives. If you game over, you'll just restart the stage like any ordinary Mega Man game. It's just like Super Mario Maker 2 with the World Builder, but it's in Mega Man. Mega Mode, it's awesome! In the online menu, there would be an option called, like I previously said, Mega Mode, or something along the lines like that, and there would be a list of games for users to play. Users would finally be able to make an actual Mega Man game. No more we say goodbye to level packs and say hello to the new Mega Mode. It would be like an actual Mega Man game in Mega Man Maker. It would genuinely be an amazing idea and expand users' creativity to the maximum! So, that's my wish list. What's your wish list for Mega Man Maker? Leave a comment down below and I'd love to discuss it with y'all. Lastly, I would like to give a big shout out to MemeJohn86 for helping me make this video possible. If you would like to see his channel, I'll leave his channel in the description down below. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more. Peace out, guys.